welcome to the Perfect Match Wrap Up, where we are going to talk about this dumpster fire of a finale. I am one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, Kirsten MacInnis. Kirsten, what the hell?
Justice for Stefan and Alara. I'm on strike.
100%, 100%. And this was so monstrous, this was so deflating and awful. We had to drag someone in here to torture alongside of us. So today we are very proud and happy to have with us the one and only Mari Forth. Mari, what's going on?
You say you dragged me here. I say I came here to drag this cast. This is just ridiculous. Justice for my time being wasted. Forget the winners.
100%.
I agreed to this before.
Mari said, "Get me for the finale. I would love to come here for the finale." You said it.
I do. Because I love it.
You wanted this, just like
I like
last week. You asked for this.
I did. I'm glutton for punishment. No, I love coming on the finales of these dumpster fire shows because we have all the information and I can actively, fully, with my full chest, be like, these people are trash and know that I'm right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we can say with certainty that a crime was committed. So we did, in fact, need your true crime knowledge.
Yes.
Several
better
crimes.
than the first some found footage, some security footage.
Right. The first crime was the freaking runtime of this episode. That crime number one. I come into these shows. I'm like, all right, what am I looking at for time here? How long is this going to take? First thing I do when these shows come on, an hour and 46 minutes. Why make this one episode? Why can't we just do 11 episodes? Last season was 12 episodes. This is coming in at 10 episodes, and this length was pretty much 2 episodes put together as far as the average runtime of these episodes this season. So I'm just like, why even call it 10 episodes? We're just going to cram 2 episodes into one.
Yeah.
Well, and why so many things, truly, but like the Love Island premiere is 90 minutes, but at least that's like introducing you to a bunch of strangers you've never met before, and then the season has been good. This, look, we're at the end. We know everyone. We've seen everyone on screen. All that's left should just be like final dates and a vote, but yet no. We've got a challenge. We've got some fights. We've got some breakups. Like, just ridiculous.
I think it would have felt different, especially knowing who the winners are, if they had broken this up and gave us this episode last week. Like, break up the challenge and the new dates. Put it last week, so at least we'll feel like they've been together for a week. In our minds. And then just go to the final dates and the voting. Because when you put all of that in one episode, of course people are going to be mad at what ends up happening. Like that.
Because
that
we
was
just
stupid
met the
on their
winners.
part.
We just met the winners being together, 10 minutes ago. So of course we're just like, we feel slighted in this way because the show has really just kind of shortchanged us on meeting the winners of the show. Because spoiler alert, y'all, the winners of the show were barely on the show this whole season.
Yeah.
It was Nigel and Christine.
Yeah.
Huh? So Christine at least came into the house in the last batch of episodes. Nigel's not here. No one picked him. She's with Kaz at the start of the finale.
Nigel spoke probably 20 words altogether in the whole season. So like to have this as your winner, I think has to be a huge embarrassment for Netflix. And I don't know what to do with Perfect Match. I feel like Perfect Match really has to change itself to justify its existence for me, because you cannot put the fate of your show into these bitter ass singles who want to cause chaos, and for those
nobody remembers.
Right. I mean, you let Trevor cast a vote for the person that wins Perfect Match? Why?
We haven't even really seen him at all.
He didn't even. Did he go on a date? I don't even remember if he went on a date.
He went on one date.
I think he was at the mixer. He was at the
Casa. He was only at the Casa More thing.
Here's the thing, okay? Fool me once, shame on you. fool me twice. Shame on me. This is on me for being disappointed because I should have known. And so now my expectations are adjusted. If there is a perfect match season 3, I'll be in here and Jason will say, Kirsten, who do you think is going to win the season? I'm going to say, I don't know. I probably haven't met them yet.
Right. Listen,
I know
we
now.
saw this coming a little bit. We were like, all right, so Stefan and Laura probably aren't going to win because that would be just too perfect, right? But who's going to win? It's going to be like Kristen Tolu or something. But to have the winner be just someone that just got together in this first episode, it's like, what the hell? So for me, I think Perfect Match moving forward should take a VH1 I love money approach and just go with that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, have some stupid games, let them win money, and they'll hook up on their own. You don't have to make them hook up. They will do it by themselves. So I think we just need to scrap this iteration of Perfect Match and just bring in a new format for this, because this is the second season in a row that it hasn't worked.
And for me, it's like, but I'm kind of mad at Netflix. Like, Netflix can't be embarrassed. They did this to themselves, like legit. Because tell me you wouldn't feel better if they had split this into 2 episodes and you could have at least been like, the winners were just on the last episode, not crowned in the beginning of this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would make you feel a little better. I think they thought adding that stupid Casa Amor twist, which I love a good Casa Amor. Favorite part of Love Island for me. The only time I really check in for Love Island, and on all these other rickety shows that steal that concept. But like, we know that for this concept, it really doesn't work because, like, 9 times out of 10, the people that you might want to see interact won't, just because, the way it kind of like Brighton and what's her name? The first Dominique.
Oh, Dominique, yeah.
They wouldn't have been able to interact because once she left him and then she gets dumped, they're not going to be able to interact because they're not on the same sides. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the Casa Amor thing, there's really never, to me, any temptation, especially when you've already seen half of these girls come and go and you had a choice to pick them. And there was was there even like 1 or 2 people who hadn't already kind of trotted their way through the house before that twist? Like, so we're kind of lucky in a sense that we got Dummy Harry, who gave us some drama from that, but even that drama just pissed me off. We'll talk about that. But it's just like that whole, I think they thought if we at least put this Casa Amor twist back, the singles can come in and at the very least they can be told what, like, they could see how the couples are interacting and who are the strongest couples and stuff like that. So then they could vote accordingly. And I was like, that would make sense. But no, they didn't care.
From Chris posted a video basically mad that all of the singles had made a pact that they would just vote for whoever had been in the least amount of time, or like whichever one of them who'd been out of the game the longest was in the final would get the votes. And now Chris is mad about this, I think because he feels robbed of a win. And I quote tweeted it like, Chris, don't worry, you were literally never going to win this game.
Well, he could have won. That would have made more sense than Nigel and Christine.
No, that would have made me more mad, honestly, because just the way that he treated Tolu was so messed up in the last batch of episodes that I don't want him to get anything, even if it's just a 2-week vacation.
Yeah, I guess. And so, I mean, for me, like, for my, like, I love money pitch, and the format of this show is about these people falling in love, finding the perfect match, but none of these relationships felt real except for Stefan and Alara. And like,
and he ghosted her.
And that's another thing. We have to find out on a 3-minute Netflix clip at that Netflix, the Twitter account for Netflix dropped about the fate of most of these relationships. We get a post-credit scene in this episode about Harry and Jess, who by the end of it weren't even a real couple. Can we get you can just tell how Netflix does not take this show seriously at all, because every other Netflix show we get a reunion, we get anything else. This show, here's a little clip telling you what everybody's up to. You can just tell that Netflix doesn't care about the show itself either. It's a mess.
To say the least. So like we get the end credits with Harry and Jess. That was funny. I think that is. I
was really
love
funny.
when I tell you I love a good Netflix gag. Like here's the footage. Here is they've cornered the market on that. Like before the credits, let's drop some mess on you. You know what I'm saying? But that video that they submitted about all the couples where they were now, I was like, are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? Don't post this. Like it's just
Yeah. It was basically, for those who didn't see it, basically all the women basically say, all the guys just ghosted us. Like
Yes.
we had a relationship for like 2 weeks, and then I just didn't hear from them again. And then all the guys like, well, it just didn't work out. We were just too different. We were just on 2 different coasts or 2 different continents. Just didn't work out very well. And all of them like, no, I didn't hear from him after 2 weeks. Like he stopped talking to me.
That too, like our winners, Nigel and Christine. She says basically like, yeah, we're not together. I don't know what he's gonna say because he's just so worried about image. And then he basically like implies that she cheated on him with his like
Right.
2-minute long monologue, which is more than he spoke on the entire 10 episodes of Perfect Match season 2. And I'm just like, nah, this man is not well. Maybe they should not have let him talk on camera, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and Steven and Laura, who coming into this through the whole season, we were like, there are one couple that we think could actually work, and it's like he's like, no, I didn't have time for a relationship. Like we're on 2 different continents, like we're on 2 different sides of the world. Just didn't work. And Laura's like, he just ghosted me. We spent a holiday together, and then he just didn't talk to me anymore. So it's like, ugh.
Yeah, she makes it seem like they went on holiday and then they agreed they were going to move in together, and then he said, "See ya, never."
So I mean, nothing about this show was successful in my mind. It's just like,
I can't believe this show made me like Steven only to like stab me in the
pull
back
the rug
like
out from under
this.
you. Yeah.
But so, and that's another thing. I Kirsten knows because I tweeted this. I don't know the fact that this cast was so too hot to handle heavy. I didn't know any of these. The only people that I knew from Too Hot to Handle, the only person I knew was Harry Jowsey because I watched the first season and I watched like maybe half of the second season. Maybe I don't know. So I knew Melinda. Yeah,
I get it. You love yourself. Whatever.
yes, exactly. I choose my piece every time. So even that's not even like what am I getting out of this? Because for me, the selling point is like, oh, your favorite Netflix stars are back to mingle. Who?
Well, and then they crowd the cast.
The villain from Squid Game.
They crowd the cast with Dated and Related, Surviving Paradise, which are the bottom tier of the Netflix shows.
Justice for Justin. Justin is like, I think he is a quiet soul who didn't fit in there.
He had the
How did he get over 2 reality shows?
He's nothing, but he at least had the self-respect to not show up for this final ceremony or whatever. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna peace out. See you later. So we can at least say that for Justin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if they had put in a little more Love's Blind, which is I think probably in Love's Blind Too Hot to Handle, are probably right up there with what Netflix for in terms of reality dating. I think throwing in the other Dated and Related or Paradises, I don't think it did much for them. I just think they should have really utilized the personalities that they know were going to work, because they have these hot hits in Love's Blind, and I mean even some Ultimatum people. But to throw on these randos,
there was no Ultimatum people in this one, right?
There was one.
Trevor.
Well,
no, Trevor was Love's Blind. Sorry, who's
Jake was Ultimatum.
Oh yeah, Jake was here for 2 seconds.
Here for 2 seconds and gone.
Did he even cast a vote? Like where was he?
No,
who knows? He didn't talk at all in that final ceremony.
And I love him too. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Jake, I love Jake on Ultimatum. Okay, sorry, keep going.
They threw in so many Too Hot to Handle people. I think it was a little bit of an oversaturation, because from what I saw of the Too Hot to Handle people, they all seemed to be kind of the same. Like there wasn't a lot of differentiation.
There's a reason why they get cast on Too Hot to Handle, because they only do casual sex and they don't do relationships. And then the show is like, if we take the casual sex away, they will immediately be fixed and they will do relationships. Because it also treats like the idea of having casual sex as like, oh, you must be evil if you're doing this. And so they like put a moral value on becoming monogamous, which nobody from the show does on the show, because they're all like 23 and just hot and having fun.
But it can be good to mix those two elements together of a Love is Blind 2 out handle, because you have someone like a Micah who we know is very like relationship focused, and you have someone like a Kaz who is an F-boy. So I think that part of it kind of works a little bit, but I think you have to balance the equation in a way.
Yeah.
So so many problems that Perfect Match has. We just need to go back to the drawing board with Perfect Match.
Yeah.
Put us on the payroll, Netflix.
Because I listen, a Netflix All Stars reality show, I'm here for it. Just figure out a better way to deliver the product.
Yeah, just go back to Battle of the Network Stars. It's a tried and true formula.
Yeah.
The challenge has been making their bank on it for years, basically. Just do a challenge. Netflix the challenge.
I think no, that's coming out.
Oh, good, great.
They're doing that. Yeah, there's 2 Netflix All-Star shows. One is like challenge focused, and that I think is coming out. And then the other one is the relationship focused one, which of course is this steaming pile of dog shit.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
I'll watch that one.
Yeah, I think going down the challenge route is the way to go. Because like I said, they're going to hook up on their own anyway. You don't have to force them to. They're just going to do it.
But like, it's if they want to do their matching ceremonies and have Nick Lachey act really serious while this, I'm also fine with that. But they just shouldn't let the singles vote at the end. Let Nick Lachey choose who the strongest couple is. That would be better.
Let us vote at the end. I think that would be,
because it's been 2 years.
Be a problem. Yeah, it'd be too long. But I mean, make the time shorter. But the only problem with that is at that point, the people won't be together anymore. So I think that won't even work.
But the people won't be together anymore anyways. So who?
They'll still go on
cares,
vacation,
right?
probably. They still go on the
Honestly,
vacation.
they could literally just spin a wheel to choose who wins. It would be better.
I mean, that's pretty much what they almost did. I mean, it was terrible. But listen, we haven't really talked about the episode in detail. So let's get into that. We left off with the decision that Jess has to make. Is she gonna match with Harry, or is she gonna just kick him to the curb over this whole Melinda did he or didn't he kiss situation? Basically, we come back right to that. Harry is basically pleading with her to not kick him to the curb, like let him stay, let him match with her. And listen, I think Jess is she was one of the winners of her Love is Blind season. I think she's one of the winners in this Perfect Match season too.
I agree.
She, whether how genuine it is or how genuine it isn't, whether she was in a relationship with someone else, which we had heard of previously, she played this the right way. Because she tells him, listen, I know that you want to be a good man, but I'm just not feeling it right now. And I don't want to have to continually question my partner, because I want someone that's right for me and my daughter, which is her brand. Her daughter is her brand. So that's just going to keep hitting, and good for her, because it's really good look for her. She says, listen, I don't want to match you tonight because I just have too many questions. Harry, of course, is just shattered. He's crestfallen. He tells, well, listen, I'm going to go out of here, and I don't know when you're going to see me again. I mean, you kind of do. You're going to be at the final ceremony in 2 days.
I literally wrote that line down, and then in all caps, I just have whatever, like enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, we get that. Both Harry and Jess end up leaving that night. So our final matches are Elise Brighton, Steven Alara, Micah Izzy, Chris Tolu, and Christine and Kaz. So we have our good nights. Micah goes into the room with Izzy and basically does nothing but complain about Kaz. She says, this is the worst day of my life. Really? This is the worst day of your life.
Altar?
Right. Not getting left at the altar.
Right. Not the day that you were stood up at the altar. And Kaz meanwhile is with Christine in their room, and he finally has the freedom to kiss her and make out with her now. So Kaz is happy. Micah is miserable. I feel
and
even
Izzy
worse for
is
Izzy.
drunk.
Izzy's drunk. Izzy is just happy to be laying in bed next to Micah at this point. He's just like, oh, I'm so sorry.
That man was zooted.
He's literally like, oh man, you're so in your head right now. Like, okay, go to sleep. Take an aspirin and go to sleep.
He could not stand. She was like, I would like to match with you. He was like,
no. Okay.
Get the gurney.
But listen, this is a better drunk Izzy than the drunk Izzy we saw on Love is Blind, where he berated one of his previous
heavens,
almost matches on his show. That's why I hate Izzy, because of the way he treated his almost match. So this puppy dog eye Izzy, feel sorry for me, Izzy, I'm a good guy, Izzy. I don't believe none of it. So F off, Izzy, kick rocks. Never liked you, never will. Even though they try to give you this great edit on this show.
This
Yes.
is a great
Is
edit.
it? This is a pathetic edit.
I feel like everyone's feeling sorry for Izzy. Everyone is like, "Oh, poor Izzy." I feel like that's how we come out of this with Izzy at the end of this edit. I feel
Oh,
like
I think
Izzy got a
it's
good edit.
I think he comes off looking like such a desperate loser.
Wow. Ouch.
Same.
All right. Well, hey, I mean,
Same.
I just kind of feel like everyone is looking like, "Oh, is he such a nice guy?" That's definitely what all the ladies in the house saying. "Oh, is he so nice? I feel so
Oh, the
comfortable with
ladies in
Oh
the
Izzy."
yeah, in the
perfect
house.
match
Yeah.
house, the
Yeah.
dumbest people alive.
Yeah, we trust their discernment.
Okay. I
Then
mean,
why did none
listen,
of them match with Izzy? That's my question, Jason. If he's so nice and they
they
like him
did.
so much.
It was a friend match. Okay. Is he a little weird and awkward? For sure. For sure.
And I just
Uh,
want to also say, like, kudos to Jessica for walking out. Like,
Mhm.
even if you don't know what's going on, the fact that you have to question what's going on is also a good reason to end a relationship. Like,
yes.
kudos to her for that.
100%.
Yes.
Let's ignore the fact that she later went back to Harry, but
Well,
we'll look over that.
it's the
We're
thing
talking about the show right now.
with Jessica when she talks about how like it's so heartbreaking that the perfect package of everything she could ever want in a man is like in Harry who just isn't ready for it. I'm like, girl, that is not everything you want in a like I'm sorry. Please just want better for yourself. Love yourself, love
But
your daughter. Stay away
but
from Harry Jowsey.
but I feel like Jessica knows that though, and I feel like part of this is the fact that it's Harry Jowsey. I feel like that's part of this.
Part of this
She
is he's 6'5".
I've heard a lot online, people talking about Jessica being very clout chasey and thinking like, oh, of course she went for Harry because he's the one with the biggest name out of the whole cast. But I don't know anything about Jessica. She doesn't strike me as like, I think if she was clout chasey, she would have just forgave him and stayed with him on the show and like kept dating him. No?
Yeah, and she didn't put herself on that date. You know what I'm saying? Like they put her on that date with Harry, not
Yeah.
her. I don't know. Anybody could. They're on Netflix, so they're all clout chasey to some extent.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I do think she's genuine when it comes to like when you have a kid, you really do have to consider some things. And she got a great storyline out of it. She got a month after as well. So I don't know. I don't find this cloud chasey. I just kind of find this naive, like hopelessly
Mm.
romantically naive. Yeah.
I mean, I fall more on the cloud chasey side. Just
Okay.
for me.
I
Just
mean,
for me.
honestly, a little bit of both. Both.
Yeah,
Why
do
not
both.
both?
Probably.
Yeah,
Do both.
two
I mean,
things can be
listen,
true.
she's all perfect
Yeah.
match.
Mutually
That gives me some credence to say she's a little cloud chasey, right?
She's also on I just like very recently finished watching Lovers and Liars to cover it with Jenny, and the CW website has ads every like 2 minutes, and she is in like a T-Mobile ad with a bunch of other
Yeah.
Love is Blind
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
I have seen approximately 1,000 times now.
Yeah.
Not a Yada Island.
Not a Yada Island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, so she's definitely she's in her bag, and I don't begrudge her for it at all. So we get to the next day, we find out there's 4 days left, and wouldn't you know, we have one last compatibility challenge.
Perfect.
It's the challenge called Get Over It. All right, nice, whatever. And so we're gonna have 10 questions, 5 for the men, 5 for the women. Every question the couple gets right, they get a plank for their bridge at the end, where they're gonna race across a bridge to hit a bell. First one to hit the bell wins the challenge. Obviously, this was a bunch of nothing. The 10 questions were the most generic questions that you could pull out of anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, how many times do you like sex?
I liked it too though because it was very clear that they were being given full multiple choice questions for everything, but then that wasn't being read. So then when everyone's using the exact same phrase, like several times a day, 1 to 2 times a week, like it was just so funny that they were clearly multiple choice questions. They just cut that out.
Yep.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I mean, the biggest like highlights of this is the how many partners have you had question, which is something that's going to come up between Tolu and Chris later. Brighton went online talking about the fact that, listen, I didn't really have 100 plus partners. Me and Elise said we are just going to choose the most like preposterous question if we had that question come up and at least didn't pick it. I did, so it's not. I didn't really have 100 plus. I was like, okay, sure, whatever.
I also don't care. Like, people
don't
lie
care at all.
about their number of partners on all of these shows because, like, ain't no way a 23-year-old on Love Island UK has had 300 sexual partners. Like, there's just not enough hours in the day. There's just not enough hours in the day, you know? So it just happens all the time. The only notable thing I wrote down from this challenge is when Tolu said, "There's a lot of community penis in this house."
Yeah.
And she was right.
I also love when she didn't know what the greater than sign was. She was like,
Oh yeah.
she's berating everyone else, like, y'all don't know math. And they're like, actually, totally, you're the wrong one. She's like, oh. Like,
I liked when Nick was just like, we're gonna give her the point because this really does seem genuine that she doesn't know.
Give her the benefit of the doubt. But Chris and Tolu do end up winning this pretty much mostly because Alara actually forgot the rules and forgot how to ring in at once you get to the end of your thing. It was almost like a Survivor. Like I didn't say Jeff when I finished my puzzle. Yeah. So Chris and Tolu end up winning because of that. Yeah, it is very embarrassing for Alara. But we get a Chris Tolu date where they are going to a beer spa. Now, Mari, you may remember this on the latest season of MAFS. We also had a beer spa. There was a lot of MAFS callback for me. A lot of dates that Married at First Sight couples would go on here, and beer spa is definitely another one of those. The biggest thing for here was like Tolu asking him about the number. He's like, "Yeah, I was kind of a hoe in the past, but that's not me anymore. It's just not me." Tolu then asks him, "But have you been loyal?" He's like, on the 3 serious relationships I've had, I have been loyal. On my 3 serious relationships. Everywhere else, it's very iffy.
If you look up the Webster Dictionary definition of loyal, it states like you can tell he's looking just to say like, oh yeah, I'm technically loyal.
Technically.
Which I mean, as well, like, I don't know, if you're sleeping with multiple people at a time, but you haven't defined the relationship and you haven't said that you're exclusive, then like I don't care about that.
I don't believe this man has the personality to carry multiple women at one time. Like I don't believe you, sir.
I think it's just the sex, Mari, and we saw his stripper moves, right? So he could definitely use those to his advantage.
We saw his alter ego. I forgot what the name of it was, but it was, this corny alter ego.
Yeah, so I mean, Steel or something.
Yeah. Some dumb shit like that. Like we know he can, for some reason, get the ladies. It's not his personality, obviously. It's obviously his looks. So we get down to 2 days left. We get the Big Bird Tolu. As soon as Tolu walked into that boardroom, I was like, why are you like Big Bird right now? And then she made the comment herself that she's like Big Bird. It's like, okay. Yeah. So we do get the boardroom. Nick is there to tell us this is the last boardroom you're going to have. We get the 4 options, which, I mean, at this point, after the big mixer, we know everybody. So it's not even like a big, like, oh my God, I wonder what this person is like.
Yeah, like...
So it's Nigel, Trevor, Britton, and Jessica are all of our options. I feel like at that point, we just should have opened up the whole floodgate to be like, you can pick anyone that has been here. Like you can pick anyone that any single that has been here because they know all the people already. So and everyone has met everyone. So, but these are the 4 options right now. Tolu says she wants to work, kind of go about this with some strategy, but also some kindness. I say Izzy and Micah, they really are a friend match right now. So let's see if we can do something with Izzy. They end up matching Izzy with Jessica.
Which is just like, honestly, this is cruel because first of all, Izzy is like his little sad puppy dog self because nobody likes him. Because again, why are you here? And as if Jessica, who 24 hours ago was saying I love you to Harry Jowsey and then had to break up with him because he wants to put a baby in Melinda, is going to want to go out on a date with Izzy now. Like, just use some freaking sense.
Yeah, Izzy keeps getting friend matches. Let's give him another friend match to go on.
They should have put like Brighton and Britton on a date together.
Just for alliteration.
But yeah.
There is also talk. There's talk back at the house as we're making our decision in the boardroom where Kaz and Christine are talking, and the whole like, would you kiss someone if you're on a date? And it's kind of like the double standard thing where Nigel's like, well, you kiss someone, so I could probably kiss someone, right? If I'm on a date. And Christine's like, yeah, but I didn't kiss someone, like you weren't there, so it doesn't matter. Like kiss someone in front of you or before you were. Now you weren't even in the game.
They were playing a game, and she's like, "Well, if you've been in the game, I would have kissed you, but you weren't in the game, so I couldn't kiss you. So I had to kiss someone else. I had to do it."
I feel like this is just like a precursor for Kaz to dump Christine. He's like, just so you know, if I go on a date, I'm kissing someone. And so the joke's kind of on him because Christine actually gets paired with Nigel to go on a date at this point. So I did like when Kaz and Christine were having this conversation. Everybody just kind of got up and left the room like, all right, I don't want to stick around for this. I got other stuff to do.
Like, I have to go to the bathroom. I need to refill my water.
Yeah.
Bye.
So we do get the Izzy and Jess date. They do aerial yoga. The funny thing part about this was just Izzy and his sweat, and they were talking about it. But then I could see on the mat. I was like, I can see where Izzy's like sweat drops are on the ground. It's like, ooh, yeah,
disgusting.
So you could just tell Jessica was so uncomfortable with the whole thing, the whole date. She's just like, I don't know. You just tell she was thinking to herself, like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I don't know why they put me with Izzy. Like, I
was chilling in the hotel.
Yeah,
I was having drinks. I was fine. And
I was on Reject Island. I was on Reject Island, wherever they put those people. But Jess is just uncomfortable the whole time.
So bad. Yeah, and it's just so much sweat. Like any like experience in life, like if you go to like a hot yoga class and the mats are too close together and someone like sweats onto your mat, like anything where someone else's sweat is going to like drip down into your space is like one of the most disgusting things I can imagine. So I'm really feeling for Jessica on this aerial yoga, which would be hot yoga because Tulum is freaking hot.
Yeah, any activity you're going to do, you're going to sweat. So not great for Izzy. We do get the Christine and Nigel date. This is pretty much just a kind of, fun little sound bath date. Another Mavs callback.
Oh God! As soon as I saw that sound bath,
yeah, it wouldn't be a Mavs season without sound bath. So we get one here too. And I will say this. I will say that for Christine and Nigel, I did feel the chemistry. I did feel that they got along well. They kind of seemed to vibe on the same level. So I do like them. I feel like if they were in the house for any amount of time, I could have seen them winning, but just the little amount of time they were in the house. But I do like their kind of vibe together. What do you guys think of their little date here?
Yeah, it felt really natural. It didn't feel forced. It felt like almost like they knew each other before.
Yeah, they did.
Wait a second.
Yeah, so they do talk about their little meetup in New York beforehand and how there was something there, but they didn't want to really explore it at the time. So it's good that they're here now together. Meanwhile, back in the house, Kaz is talking about how much he misses Marka. I didn't catch that until this episode. He's like, Marka. How much he misses Marka. This is. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. He was just so wrong. He just wants to be with someone who's a best friend.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this is pretty much him. And Christine, when she gets back, calls it out immediately. She's like, oh, you just wanted to have a backup option because you knew that I was coming back with Nigel. So we do get everyone come back to the house. Kaz, as at the back of the house, he pulls Micah in for a chat. Says, we know we've had our ups and downs. He apologizes for how frustrated he got. He tells her that he does indeed miss her. Micah says she knows what she wants, but she doesn't want to question whether the person that she is with actually wants her or not. Micah starts spreading the news immediately about this conversation she had with Kaz. Kaz says he misses me. Kaz says he wants to be back with me. He really wants to rehash our connection, rebuild our connection. But Micah does say, I hope that Kaz gives Christine the respect that he didn't give me when he decided to dump me. I was like, oh, okay.
At least there's that. Because I was pretty embarrassed for Micah in this situation, acting so excited.
Yep.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I mean, kudos to like Tolu and Chris, like actively breaking up couples, but in like forming, they like formed 3 couples in like one move.
Yeah,
which was cool. It's something that you want to see like at the beginning of the process. You know what I'm saying? Like I think this is what the producers think of when they think of perfect match. But it happening 4 days before you decide, or 3 days before you decide the winner, we're all sitting here like, huh? what? We're like, okay, but we're not invested in them, trash.
Yeah. I think you could have just cut out the last boardroom and cut out the last compatibility challenge and left our couples as they were going into the final ceremony, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it.
then what? Micah and Izzy win?
Probably. I mean, as terrible as their decisions are, more than likely.
Right. Maybe they win.
I feel like it'd be based on this like pact. It would have been either Christine and Kaz or Micah and Izzy, neither of which would have been any more satisfying than Nigel and Christine.
If we just let the couples vote, do we think that would be a better system for this? If we just cut the singles out altogether?
No, so I think it would turn into kind of like the circle where the more tactical people try to be, the more random it turns out. And then it would have ended up with what? Like Elise and Brighton winning?
Yeah, because everyone would rate them high because, you know.
Because no one's going to rate them high. And surely no one else is having the same thought process as me.
Yeah, welcome to every circle winner ever.
Yep.
We just have to go back straight to the drawing board. But anyway,
I don't know how
let Nick decide. Just let Nick decide.
Yeah, let Nick be our final decider.
Y'all have a lot of faith in Nick Lachey that I do not have.
No, but if Nick Lachey is gonna be there every damn episode to like awkwardly introduce the people to the mixer and also do these dumbass challenges, at least he has seen the couples and can be like, okay, well, Stefan and Alara have been together since the second challenge, so I'm gonna give it to at least that makes sense.
On a scale of Julie Chin to Arissa Cox, how much do you think Nick is actually paying attention as a host to what he's hosting?
What is below Julie Chen?
Yeah.
Nothing, because she watches nothing of the show she hosts.
At least, you know what? At least he's there in the house and he could probably tell you who has been in a couple with each other. He can't tell you how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as no one runs at him like Alara did that one time, he'll be fine.
Well, as long as you don't spook him too bad, I think he can be okay. As long as you don't throw too many curveballs at him, I think Nick's okay. Nick is great with a person in his ear telling him what to say. Like let's leave Nick alone. Let Nick be Nick. So yeah, we do get everyone back at the house. Nick comes in. He's like, "Hey guys, guess what? This is your final mixer. Have fun." The final mixer starts. We of course have to have a dumbass talent show because it seems like every mixer we have to have some weird talent show. We found out we see Tolu doing her double jointed thing. Chris is doing his stomach flexing, which I think we've seen him do like 5 different times in this season. Kaz break dances. Alara puts her leg over her head. It's a whole gross, weird mess. Jess talks to all the other girls about her date with Izzy. She gives the Izzy line. It was nice. It was comfortable. It was fine. She also tells us that Harry actually sent her a long letter apologizing to her about the Melinda debacle, but we never get any like, did he admit to the kiss? Because we go through this whole episode of like, did he ever actually admit to her in this like show?
No,
in their
there's
experience
no
that
way.
he kissed Melinda. I never think he did. I think they tried to make it ambiguous for us, but I think he just apologized and say, I was just too nice. I was just playing around too much. I think
I'm too playful. I can't help it. No, he was straight up. It wasn't me. That was his play.
Yeah, Christine is talking to the other girls about how much fun she had with Nigel, and this is where Micah tells her, "Well, listen, girl, Kaz basically told me that he wanted to be with me, so sorry about your luck." And this gets Christine pretty hot. She runs over and grabs, Kaz immediately and pretty much calls him out automatically. Says, "Micah told me that you want to be with her, so what's up with that?" She goes in on him, says that he keeps blindsiding people, and he never knows what he wants to do. He's always switching things up. Kaz, for his point, says, "Listen, that's what we're here for, is to explore connections, to explore different people we want to get together with." I do think Kaz gets a little bit of a bad rap here. What do you guys think about the Kaz accusations here?
I truly do, because it's like, especially like near the end where everybody's like, Kaz is the worst. He did this. He stayed with Micah the whole time. Yeah. He literally only switched up at the end there. Like, and it felt so begrudgingly that he even did it. Right. So it's kind of like, to me, it's like, okay, Micah kept saying, I want somebody who chooses me every time. Girl, he did.
He literally chose
Unfortunately,
you.
every single time.
Until you shot yourself in the foot and basically forced him not to choose you, berated you, called him a liar, and basically was just like, what else am I supposed to do? Why would I pick this person? So yeah, I'm gonna go with someone else. Especially since all the other women that came in, because everyone trying to break up Micah and Kaz and put Kaz on
which is
dates.
weird. Yeah.
All the women came in and were super aggressive toward Kaz, especially Christine, trying to make him leave Micah. And then we flip the script and say, Kaz, how dare you pick other people? How dare you go against Micah when we were trying to do that the whole time? Like,
it's so wild. Like, every single person in the villa was like, let's break up Kaz and Micah by targeting Kaz. And then when he just literally is open to connections, but doesn't ultimately explore 99% of them, they're like, wow, Kaz, you're Satan. How could you possibly do this to people? Like, do I think Kaz is like the best person in the world? No, he's on Perfect Match. Obviously he's not, but he's not like the devil. Harry Jowsey is right there.
Right. When I realized that they said that about Kaz and not Harry, I was like, huh? Like, what are these standards that we're applying to Kaz when honestly, like you guys said last week, he's just a friendly person.
Yeah, and they mix that with Micah being super insecure. They know who to target. They know how these new people coming in know how they can get into the house. This is to target Micah and Kaz because Micah's insecure, Kaz is friendly, so that's the way you can make that wedge in between them too. So especially for Christine, who's coming in here basically already kind of knowing probably that she's going to get with Nigel and going to dump Kaz, for her to like turn it around on him this way was weird. Now, should Kaz have said something to Christine before he made this overture to Micah to say, I definitely want to go with you? Should he have broke it off with Christine before that? Probably. That probably would have been the better thing to do. But I mean, I don't begrudge Kaz too much in a lot of stuff he's done.
Christine wasn't there. She was on a date. And if she hadn't been on a date, he probably would have just stuck with her. So tough to say what the right choice was.
I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff going in on this here. I think part of it is Kaz saying, I'm probably gonna get dumped by Christine. Let me go back to faithful here, Micah. I think there is a little bit of that too. But Christine's pissed. Nigel walks by and grabs Christine for a talk. He says, I want to make sure, he tells her, I want to make sure I'm not a second option. Christine says, no, definitely not. I am done with Kaz. It's you and me all the way. So they don't match right here, but it's pretty obvious that they're going to match by the end of the night. We get a truth and we get another dumb like game. I feel like they do nothing but sit around and have these dumbass games. It suggested, let's play spin the bottle. And Steven jumps up and says, I'll grab a bottle. And which everyone makes a big deal out of. Like, why is Steven grabbing a bottle? He's with Laura. Why would he want to kiss another girl? Laura.
Laura gets so mad. She's like, wow, why did you jump up so fast and run to get the bottle? It's like you just want to kiss other girls. Enough.
Yeah, you can tell by this point there was a lot of drinking. My question to you two is: has either of you heard of the room and skirt game that Izzy was suggesting? Izzy's like, I think we just play skirt and room and skirt. We would have been all fun. What is that? Does anyone know?
It's okay. So it's a fun game. Normally, I see it as part of like when you're playing Sociables or King's Cup. You do like one quick round of it, and whoever loses. But you go basically like vroom is going one way. And if someone vrooms to you, you can just either vroom to continue it in that direction or skirt, and then the direction changes. And then you would go vroom to continue. And then the first person to mess up by saying the wrong thing drinks because they are wrong. It is a pretty fun game. I don't think it would be fun to just like play that for hours, but as like one round during Sociables or King's Cup, yeah, that's fun.
Okay.
Oh my God, college memory unlocked. We used to play Kings all the time.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's an easy way to get wasted.
Yeah.
But Steven is pretty much trying to reassure Alara like she is the one for him. He's not. He says, "In this house, you're my perfect match every day." I was like, "Oh, in this house, okay, cool." But not outside this house. All right, fine. We get a lot of that from a lot of people in this final episode. We do get Elise and Brighton talking. She says he is so caring. She didn't expect it from Brighton. She says this feels like her longest relationship. I said it's been like 6 days. Like, are you okay? Are you good? he does ask her to match, and she says yes. They are our first match of the night.
They are. I don't. I don't understand this at all. I don't. And you know what? It's okay. I don't.
I don't
I'm.
understand
It's okay.
any of these people. So if you understand one of these people, you're better than me. I don't understand any of these
No,
people.
worse. Understanding these people is actually an indictment of your character.
Yeah, if you get any of this, it's not good for you. Chris and Tolu, they match automatically. They're like, hey, you want to match? All good, fine. Nigel and Christine talk. Pretty much the same thing. He likes her, she likes him. Hey, want to match? Let's get our match on. Kaz and Micah sit down and talk, and they pretty easily match. This is like a very safe, easy round for matching. I feel like everyone kind of got their match on. Um,
Yeah.
who else matched? Was this
Like
where
Elise and
Izzy
Brighton
and
are
Jess
back
matched?
together.
Yes, yeah,
Oh no, they're
Yes.
not. Wait, yes?
Yeah,
Izzy and Jess.
Izzy and Jess
Yeah.
match, and it's
Mhm.
basically like it's almost like well, what are you doing? I don't do anything. What are you doing? Want a match? Sure, why not? It's another friend match for Izzy.
It was charity. It was a
Very,
charity match for
very much
Izzy.
so.
It was so Jess didn't have to be transported back to wherever she wanted to go at night. It was too late. She's like, I just want to lay down.
Yeah.
Let's match so
Let's
I
go
can
match so
go.
I can go sleep. Because we have 6 matches and probably only 5 bedrooms, Alara and Steven end up going to go to sleep in a tent or whatever. He says that he made the tent up himself. I'm pretty sure production did that because they ran out of bedrooms.
Yeah, there's nowhere. They're like, here, take your do not disturb thing and sleep in a tent.
Or we borrowed it from another room. You have to bring it back we'll just do this for the shoot, then bring it back to this other room. And because probably production was like, well, we have like 5 excursions for dates and 6 couples, so we got to do something. They probably told Izzy and Jess like, so you guys probably like you don't really want to be matched, right? You don't really want to finish this thing out, right?
Oh
like
yeah,
you
that is
you're probably
hilarious.
like you
I
probably
didn't
can
think of
go.
that.
Jess was having fun at the hotel. She probably got to get a spa treatment, go to the gym, go to the pool, not worry about any of these other losers. Like, I'm sure she was happy to go back to the hotel.
Yeah. Just
Mhm.
like, yeah, get me out of here. I'm good. I'm good to go. Do we think that they had like Jess and Harry had no interaction on their time away from the show? Like, do they sequester these people? Do you think? Like, what do you think the vibe is at the
They can't be
wherever?
perfectly sequestered. There's no way they're putting in the level of time and effort required to completely separate all of them. And as well, how would they have made a pact if they were kept completely separate?
Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
Yeah, at least
So,
got all ride in a van somewhere together.
yeah, there's
True.
definitely some note passing somewhere going on. So we do get the next morning, Izzy and Jess are like, yeah, we talked and we just, figured, yeah, not really for this. This isn't really a good idea. So they decide to unmatch. Izzy just like, I'm so happy with my experience. I'm so glad I got to match with 3 lovely ladies. And he just walks out the door like the sad puppy dog that he is. I mean, you guys say that Izzy wouldn't get a good edit. I think Izzy got a great edit here. I think he really worked to firm up his reputation because he did not have a good rep coming out of Love Is Blind.
Well, I mean, I guess he doesn't seem like the devil, but he came across
Right.
so pathetic to me.
He's not. I mean, the women are not gonna be throwing themselves at him after this. This is
Oh, definitely not.
a Sahara Desert type edit. Like we're not. Nobody's checking for Izzy.
All right. Y'all know better than me. We do get the final dates. This is the last time the couples are going to be together before the final ceremony. This is the last time for them to convince us why they should be the perfect match or why they should win this show. We get to Chris and Tolu. They go horseback riding. They go to some little setup that has a dream catcher. He insists that this is genuine, that he really likes her. She really wants to. Tolu I feel like Tolu falls easily. I feel like, 'cause she is emotional talking about Chris. She's like, he has really accepted me. He makes me feel beautiful. And she starts crying. Meow Chris is like, yeah, we'll try to make it work. 100% for sure. We can definitely do this thing.
It's hard though because she has been like how much time did she spend with Dom, who obviously like never
God.
accepted her or was going to date her in any kind of way. So like she's been surrounded by all these men that are not going to give her a chance romantically. And so like then what? She has to just be so grateful for absolute crumbs from a nobody like Chris. It breaks my heart. She's so much better than like all of this.
Yeah, you want to talk about you either stay a hero or live long enough to see yourself be a villain. Dom Dom, like, oh, I
Never
hated
should come
every
back.
second. Every
Never
second
should
he
come
was
back
on
for a second
here.
season here.
I don't know why he would come back after winning. I don't know why y'all kept putting him on dates with black women after y'all saw what he did last season. I was so mad at his whole thing here. I was so glad when he left. And then his dumb self, which we'll talk about, with him trying to help Harry get Jess back with all the lies. Like, you stand up. Stand up, Dom. You're over here simping for a man who slept with your girl. Stand the fuck up. Like, get out of here.
What a cook. Anyway, we do get Stephen and Laura date. They have like a kind of a lakeside date. They pretty much she talks about her worry that he's a DJ and I'll bring you around some beautiful girls. He tries to reassure her, says, "Listen, I'm a loyal guy. No one's gonna say anybody but you are. If I'm in a serious relationship, I don't do any of that stuff. We talk about meeting each other's family. Nothing much there. Nothing much going on. We get a Micah and Kaz date. They're on a boat. And they talk, they talk about the fact that once Micah talks about for sure we're getting out in the real world and how she's going to feel secure when she gets out in the real world. I say, there's no way, baby. There's no way. He's over in London. You're in America. She's going to be checking his social medias every second of the day. I was like, I don't know how you're going to feel secure. I don't understand. Kaz is of course trying to tell her, no, it's all good. We're gonna visit each other. We're gonna be all good. Anything from this date stick out to either of y'all?
He has no concept of the time difference between the west coast of North America and London. Just no concept at all.
He doesn't know what Hawaii is, so why would we think he has any concept of the time zones?
Hawaii is. Britain said it weird, and he thought she was talking about something else.
Yeah,
to be fair, like she was saying it like Hawaii or something, and then he was like, I don't know what that is, and then he goes, oh, Hawaii, and then he understood it. So like he knows what Hawaii is. I think that he just didn't know what she was saying when she was talking about Hawaii.
I think she actually like said it grammatically.
Yeah, she said it correctly for the record.
I mean, that's just pompous people that are from Hawaii that want to tell you they're from Hawaii. I'm from Hawaii. I mean, I'm sorry, Mari. I'm sorry, Mari. I forgot. I forgot you're also from Hawaii. I forgot. I'm sorry.
She's better than us. Deal with it.
Yeah, for sure. We get Brighton and Elise having a cacao ceremony, another math throwback from last season for me. They had their fun date. She talks about how, he talks about how, no one came in here thinking I was being childish and I showed you my serious side. She's like, yeah, definitely. I do see your serious side. Oh, nothing much there happening. Christina and Nigel having their second date in 2 days is pretty much the same exact date as the date they had the day before. As far as I can see.
Listen, they're so close, more than any other couple could be, because these 2 dates in close proximity.
They have a whole paint date where they paint each other. They come back to the house, all painted up. They had fun. I feel like this was an extended scene of them be like, see, they're a good couple. They're having fun. They're having a good time. Don't be bad enough that they win. See, look, they're such a great couple. But yeah, everyone comes back and it's time for the final ceremony. I actually like this final ceremony and the way that they structure this, the way they do it. I like the kind of almost a jury format of Survivor where they kind of get to come and air grievances against everyone and talk about what happened during the season. I kind of like that, the way they did this. What do you guys think of the overall vibe of this?
No, I really did like that. I liked them getting to question the people who are like still in it for the money, and then eventually get to air out their individual grievances with each other. I'm trying to remember. Of course, just like Kirsten, I can't remember what I watched. I don't remember. Was this how it was last season with Perfect Match? Like,
I think
it was something like this, similar, right? Yeah, because Francesca got a lot of screen time. I remember when she was a single at that point.
I do like that Perfect Match has brought back the old Final Tribal Council format. That's really good.
Yeah, so basically this is a time where all the couples kind of plead their case and tell everyone why they should vote for them as the perfect match. Of course, everyone says, I feel like I really found my perfect. Everyone says at this point, I really feel like I found my perfect match. They're my significant other, that person I want to spend the time with outside of here. Tolu says, Chris and Tolu. Chris says, I feel like I found my significant other. Tolu says they started as friends, they grew it, and they made their connection even stronger since they started as friends. Dominique automatically calls Chris out and talks about the deception and the lying. Talks about he switched stuff up on her so fast and things seem off between between Tolu and Chris. I know it's been so long. I forgot about this whole
Dominic,
Chris
yeah.
deception and
Mhm.
Chris Dominique thing. I totally forgot about this. So they were
What
matched,
deception
and
was it?
he said because they were matched, he sat Dom and Zan down to tell them that he was matching with someone. I forgot who he was
Elise.
matching with Elise.
Yes.
Elise.
I forgot about that whole thing until Dominique mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. I mean,
That was
that's such
really
old news. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
whatever.
Well,
Chris
but
is like,
he
okay,
tried to do it again at the mixer. He tried
Yeah.
to get with Xanthi and she said no. So like, okay, Chris, yeah, sure, that's your person, you weirdo.
yeah. And then he's like, well, we're definitely going to stay in contact after this. And Trevor, who the most words Trevor has spoken in this whole season, is like, that sounds kind of weird. You're going to stay in contact if this is your one true person. He says, well, it's going to be a long distance relationship. And Nick Lachey giving out relationship advice as well. I can tell you from experience of someone married 12 years, 3 kids. You do whatever it takes to make it work. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. And I just I just hated all of this because I just felt so bad for Tolu because it was just like obviously he can't be serious about dating her, and it just felt icky. It felt very, very, very icky here to me. Um, are we surprised that it's like a fake relationship that
No,
didn't
not at
pan
all.
out? No.
Not
Was
at
it the most genuine fake relationship up there? I kind of think so.
most genuine and fake relationship. I think.
It's a
Think about it.
weird bar to assess too, right? So it's
So
like
what do you-
Exactly.
So what? Who are we saying is real and who is fake? Are we saying Steven and Alara are real, or we
Oh, I
putting
forgot
them in the real
about them.
category?
Seven and Alara are the only ones that
Okay.
actually felt like they could be real, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
to
They are.
me, that's
Yeah.
that. And then, so if we're going through the fakes, it's like, okay, Elise and Brighton. Yeah, I never
Clearly.
bought that for a second. That is
Never
like
bought
fake,
it.
fake, 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 fake.
Yeah.
Then Micah and Kaz, if they hadn't had the little Christine breakup before coming back, I would have maybe considered putting them over more to the real, but
Yeah. They're like solidly in the middle because it's just kind
that's,
of
I
like,
think they're
Yeah.
in the middle.
yeah. It's kind of like
Um,
they're in it just because at this point I'm in it.
Yeah.
yeah. And see,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about Chris and Tolu as well, though, because he literally just tried to get out of it 2 days ago.
That's true.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
hard
that's
because
true.
Tolu, I feel like she really wants this to be real. I
For
feel like
her, it's real.
for her it's genuine. I've
Mm.
never felt Chris was real in this whatsoever. I've always felt like it was stay on the show. He burned his bridges with all the other women, so now he's kind of stuck here with Tolu, and for whatever reason, none of the other men were pining after Tolu. So it feels like it was just the whole time was a relationship of convenience in this way throughout the whole season for them, for those two.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Let's see. So Elise and Brighton, they do their thing. Dominique, of course, has to come for Brighton about butting heads over yoga. I do like what you said. It feels like whoever you're with is an audience for your one-man podcast, and that Elise doesn't challenge your ego, which is why you're with her. I felt like she kind of hit the nail on the head there, though.
And we knew exactly what podcast she was talking about
100%.
when she said it.
There are hundreds of them. These just
Red pill. So are you going to talk about her talking about what they really
Oh yeah, we mentioned it on one of the other podcasts, but
okay, yeah.
a lot of it was she's claiming that Brighton, the whole yoga thing wasn't really about yoga. It was about Brighton spewing some sort of hate speech. She doesn't get too specific, but she says that was really what all their arguments were about, which I 100% believe that is true, because who the hell argues that fiercely about yoga and gets that emotional about yoga? So I 100% believe that's what happened. They just edited it out.
Yoga people are normally, kind of centered, right? They're not getting into a fight just to get into a fight.
Yeah. Christine and Nigel spend their whole time trying to convince us that even though we haven't spent a lot of time together, we could definitely be a perfect match. And Kaz, for whatever reason, throws a shot at Nigel and says that he's not an alpha guy, that he would have thought Christine would have went for an alpha, and Nigel is not that. Okay, like very weird shot across the bow over someone that Kaz didn't even like that much. It was just like he's taking some weird affront to Nigel and Christine being together.
And I'm sure that made Micah feel great.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, look how she answered this next question.
Yeah, I mean, Micah says that she was looking for someone to have fun with and laugh with, and that is Kaz, and that at this moment they are very strong.
Did she say that? Because I remember somebody saying, "But are you guys a perfect match?" And her be like,
Well, no, but
before she.
Nick asked that because I'm
Okay,
sure he
yeah.
asked everyone and they cut out other people's. And Micah did her joke that she does that because she said the same thing on Love Is Blind. She's, I'm gonna let him answer first, and that was her little jokey joke, where she was just copying her line from Love Is Blind. And Nick, of course, it's like, oh, I see what you did there. I understood that reference. It's like
Okay, good for you, Nick.
hilarious. But this is also where people come after Kaz again because he's not genuine. He is skipped around. They're different women. And where Christine really reads him for filth and says, "You are the biggest scammer here. You want everybody to feel like you're genuine, but you just jumped ship for me because you felt threatened by Nigel." And she says his only perfect match is the devil himself. I said who put a quarter in Christine? Because this is a lot.
That battery in her back got her jumping. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't. Kaz did like the absolute bare minimum of what the show required in like quote unquote testing his relationship. Like he went on a few dates, he talked with some girls at a few mixers, but he kept ultimately coming back to the girl who kept guilt tripping him about not being a good partner. So like I don't see it. He like Elise was on her third. Is this her third or fourth match at this point where she's sitting with Brighton? She ain't get no smoke. She homie hopped. Like I don't get it. I
think most of the people had a bad breakup in this season of they didn't handle it well and they just kind of when they're moving off people. But Kaz getting all this heat, which just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Didn't make sense.
Yeah. It was just out of nowhere.
Yeah, especially when you have people like Holly, Christine, who were really breathing down Kaz's neck when they came in the house, trying to get in the house, and then to turn around and be like, you were jumping from Micah to everybody. Yeah, because you were trying to get him to real hard. And he, most of the time, like stiff-armed your advances. So the one time he did, that's what y'all want to go crazy about. But whatever. Alara and Steven, they pitched their case. They said, we feel like we are the strongest match here. And then Zan runs in, talking about Steven. It's really hard to get a read on Steven, so enjoy while it lasts. She says she doesn't believe in it or whatever. Xanthe, please take your whatevers and go somewhere. I liked Xanthe for the most part on this season. It was just the weird accents that she was throwing around that wasn't my cup of tea. I was like, you're weird.
No, and that is like such a common thing on these shows where people come in with weird accents and black accent and like all this stuff. And I'm like, I when I talk to someone a lot, just like start taking on mannerisms by accident somehow. And I'm like every day, like, nope, not that one.
Tap it down.
Please
Tap it down.
Like, please no. Like I'm fighting a losing battle against all these horrible people on these shows.
And I feel like if you come to Xanthe with that, she will just like say whatever and just
she'd be like, "What? No, she'd be like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? To what are you referring?"
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Whatever. Whatever. So everyone has pled their case. So Nick says, "All right, guys, this is the last chance for Harry. This is the last chance for anyone to talk about anything they want to talk about. Harry to say whatever you want to say." So Harry takes the opportunity to say, "Listen, I didn't handle the Melinda situation right. Like, I get too playful, I get too comfortable." Never acknowledges saying, I kissed Melinda and I lied to Jessica about it. Never says that out loud. So I don't think he ever really admitted to it on the show. So the show then takes it upon themselves when, we were talking about it at the time. We're like, did the show not have the footage? Did the show not catch something? But the show was waiting. It was just waiting for the right time to throw this out there. I don't know if it was the right time. We can talk about that. But they give us all the footage pertaining to this Melinda and Harry kiss. We do get the audio footage of them kissing where Melinda's like, no one's looking. Go ahead, do it. So
she definitely did goad him a little bit.
Yeah. She definitely trapped him a bit. But listen, this is Harry. He can be trapped. It's Harry's own fault for people knowing that he is susceptible to this. So let's spread blame around where it belongs. What did you guys think of the unseen footage and how it really incriminated Harry in this way?
I'll let Kirsten go first because I have some things.
Okay, so as you said, yeah, like it's on Harry that he's able to be caught in these traps. He was the one in a relationship with someone. Melinda is single. Uh
Yep.
should she goad someone who's saying they're in a committed relationship? I mean, like in the real world, certainly not, but you're on Perfect Match and this is kind of what you're here for. So sure, goad Harry. Lie to him and say that no one can see when you're wearing mic packs.
Mhm.
Like, okay. And I think that this all could have ultimately been such a small thing if when she asked, "Oh, what did it mean that you kissed me?" If he had just said, "Oh, nothing," like that, I was just playing around. And then he told Jess the actual truth and didn't say he was going to put a baby in her. I
That was
think it could have been
Yeah.
okay. But she pushed him. He fell for it. And then he responded to his like failure to be faithful to Jessica for 5 minutes when she's not in the room in the worst possible way and made himself into a victim. So I just have no sympathy for him.
No, he actively gaslit her. He actively tried to build a whole world that was false and to
Yep.
make her question what her thoughts. And not only did he do that, but fuck everybody else who was there, who saw their interactions and tried to help call her crazy or say she just wants her 15 minutes. Like, okay, we get her saying like he didn't say I don't want to kiss you. He probably said I don't want to kiss you because there's cameras. And then she
Mhm.
was probably like, there's no cameras here. Let's go. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And he didn't have to say the baby stuff. He didn't have to say he wanted to fuck her. Like he's a grown ass man. He didn't have to check with production. Like
Yeah.
that's so calculated. Did y'all get that kiss? No, bet. All right, then I'm going to just like swear on my life that it never happened because y'all don't have the footage. Like that
They
is
shouldn't have
some
told him the truth.
devil stuff.
They should have been like, "We have it."
Oh, definitely don't do that because then they know they have him where they want him. They know they can spin it and do it whatever they want with it. I think
Yeah.
letting him lie to Jessica was what the show wanted. Was what the show
Like
wanted to get.
how horrendous do you have to be to straight face, bold face lie and be like, no, I
20
never kissed
times
her. Yes.
we saw him 20 times say he didn't kiss her. No way. She's just chasing him for clout. This is
And
oof.
and
You know what I
again,
haven't seen on social media a lot in the fallout from this? People apologizing to Melinda. I have not really seen
exactly.
any of that from any of the
Exactly.
cast members
Nobody, yes. Sorry,
in this
nobody
fallout.
apologized. Let the apology be as loud as a disrespect because y'all fucking played in her face. F Dom too, because all of it was like they didn't believe it because they're like, oh, why would Harry want to kiss her? You know, it's all about misogyny and misogynoir. Like he couldn't possibly want to choose this dark skinned black girl over who Dom said, look at you, Jess, you're it, you're the best, you're the best looking one here. Like, fuck
Mind
out
you,
of here.
Melinda's like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life, but okay,
Like
weirdos.
it's straight bullshit, and that's why like these shows are like I don't take these shows seriously, but I know, and that's why I just know if I'm about to watch a show and there's some black women in it, they about to get played in their faces, and normally it's fine because it's just like, oh, they don't get chosen or whatever, but to actively like go around and try to besmirch her when you did do all this stuff and then try to like, I love that she was calling her. She's like, I'm being gaslit. And she's like, I'm telling the truth. Why would I have to lie? Like, she stood her ground. And I think if anybody else, it could have like really broke them and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that they gave us the receipts that were needed. I mean, maybe too late. I wish they would have done it probably in the moment. I think would have been better for me. I think I would have. I don't think we should have left the lingering doubt whether Melinda was telling the truth or not for what 2 weeks or
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
Uh,
think the show was probably thinking, "Oh, we'll show the footage in front of everyone because then that'll like have a bigger impact." They should have had a screening right in the villa during
Right.
the
'Cause-
Casa More cocktail hour. Bring in Nick Lachey with a TV on a cart. Let's watch the kiss. Like, let's clear it up right
well,
now.
they should have done it at that ceremony because I don't think they were showing that to
They
them at the
didn't show
ceremony.
it to them. Yeah, because they
Yeah,
didn't. None of them reacted to it.
Oh
It was
yeah,
just
they just showed
us.
us.
yeah,
Yeah, that they
Yeah.
should have shown it to everyone. That was
Yeah.
stupid.
yeah. Call them out right there and then give us that good drama.
Give us the
Um,
transcripts.
yeah.
Mhm.
So with that out of the way, we do get to the voting, and we see a couple of votes. We see who a couple people voted for, but we don't see who most of them voted for. We come back. Nick says the winner is by one vote. The winner is Christine and Nigel. Huh?
Disgusting.
I said, what the hell? Like, that was literally my out loud, like, the hell is going on here? And here's the worst part of it. We don't see the votes. We don't see who voted for who. We don't see none of that. That's awful execution in my mind of showing of this end game. They really just fumbled the bag. The whole bag is fumbled on this end game here because we don't see who people voted for. We don't see who else got the most votes. It was just really sloppy in my mind.
Yeah, you have a Survivor / Big Brother jury questioning type thing. So give us Big Brother and Survivor revealing of the votes for the winner. Like,
Yeah,
why keep it a secret?
Yeah, it was just it felt like they wanted to really get through the yada. Ooh, they really wanted to yada. Earthquake. They really wanted to yada through this whole thing, just kind of get it over with. Like, be like, yeah, the Christine and Nigel won. Good night, everybody.
Yep.
It's over. Goodbye.
Yeah, we do see footage of Nigel and Christine on their Thailand vacation. Seemed nice. But the real coup de grace of this season is Harry and Jessica have a little post-credit scene where they're in his car talking about the fact that they are together. He is wooing her. She is not his girlfriend officially, but they're working on it, blah, blah, blah. Harry mentions, oh, probably by the time this comes out, we'll be going really, really strong, by the time people see this. And then we get the message on the screen. 1 week later, they broke up. So such a great little just serve at the end of the whole thing. But like I said, the ending of this without give us one of those 90s movies screens at the end. Lauren Steven went on a holiday, but then he ghosted her, and then just do that. Give us some kind of real ending here to this season, because it just felt really rushed and sloppy. I say rushed. We had an hour and 46-minute finale, and to say it felt rushed at the end is kind of weird.
Yeah, it did feel like that last one was rushed. Sorry.
Yeah, 5 minutes of the episode mattered, and they were extremely rushed.
Yep, that's what it is.
100%. Anyone else have any other grievances to air about Perfect Match Season 2 before we end this whole thing?
This is just such an unserious show.
It's very unserious.
I think, honestly, not even a grievance, but I just want us to all be prepared. If this show comes back, we will not let them clown on us again. We know what's going to happen. We know how dumb and unserious it is. We will not get our hopes up for a worthy winner, and it's going to be just fine.
I feel like we were prepared for an unworthy winner. We just weren't prepared for this level of unworthy, this level of mess.
I really thought Stefan and Alara were gonna win. I was so wrong. I was so just like,
why do you care? This is not this is not real life. They voted for the people they like. They made a pact. None of these couples are together. Who cares?
Yeah.
Shout out to Christine and Nigel for winning.
Good for them.
Yeah. One of my most famous sayings I always like to say: "It's about the journey, not the destination."
Oh, God.
Did we enjoy the journey?
Both of them.
That's to be evaluated. We enjoyed bits of the journey.
I enjoyed podcasting about it.
100%. Yes. Maybe the only reason I watched Perfect Match was to podcast about it. maybe not. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed podcasting with you, Kirsten, about the whole season. I enjoyed our guests, LT and you, Mari. Made it so much more fun. Listen, if there is a season 3, I know I'll be back. I can't speak for Kirsten.
I'll be here, and Asia will be able to come be our adultier adult again.
We'll have true adult supervision at that point. Yes, Mari, thank you so much for being here with us to talk about the terribleness of this terrible finale. Where can people find you, and what are you up to? You're back from maternity leave, so you're in your podcast bag again. Tell all the people where you can find you.
You can find me on Twitter first and foremost at Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2 like the number 2. I'm always over there retweeting, tweeting, talking about stupid reality TV shows. It's about to get ridiculous in a few weeks here with Big Brother coming up. But you can also find me over on the Recap Kickback with Chappelle every week we are hosting the Hot D Westeros Kickback, where we review season 2 of House of the Dragon. We're having so much fun over there. If you want to hear our take on America's favorite show at this point, the world's favorite show, we have so much fun. And then I also, at the end, I do book spoilers, like book spoilers, and talk about the difference between the show and the books. So it's so fun, it's so informative, and I explain it to Chappelle, who has all of the wrong opinions about everything. So go to recapkickback.com in order to subscribe. You can also follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/@recapkickback. That's RECAPKICK back. BACK.
Oh wow!
I
like that you
P's and K's in that. Jesus,
I like it. You spelled it all out. I feel
Yeah.
like most people could have got kicked back, but you spelled it all out for us.
Mari
Yeah,
wins
there you
the
go.
spelling bee.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
so also over on Crime Scene, me and Sarah Carradine are still reviewing true crime podcasts. Yes, Rob has a podcast network, has a true crime podcast. You should know this by now. You can go to Rob has a website.com/crime feed in order to subscribe, or just look up Crime Scene Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We have a doozy coming out this week featuring Matt Scott GW, where that's his handle, his Twitter handle, where we discuss Tell Them You Love Me. It's a documentary on Netflix that is so unreal. It's so unhinged. Our conversation about this documentary, like, we didn't even know how we were going to discuss this. It's so ridiculous. So definitely go check that out. We had a time recording it.
Mari, I feel like this podcast you just spelled out the most was the one you didn't spell out. Spell out
Yes,
crime scene.
Yes, that's Crime SEEN podcast. You can find us on all social media, wherever. That's funny. Yes, I don't know what possessed me to start spelling at 9:00 at night, but whatever, it's cool.
All right, that was all of Mari's long list of plugs. She's back in the game, folks. Go check her out. Kirsten, where can all people find you and what you're up to?
Yes, so if you're listening to this on the Perfect Match feed, you just need to scoot on over to the Hot Dummies on Islands feed to hear me talking about Lovers and Liars, which is the F-Boy Island spinoff with Jenny Autumn. We just finished talking about season 1 over there, as well as Love Island USA is in full swing, and it is such a good season so far. So Brian Scally and I are breaking that down twice per week over on the Hot Dummies on Islands feed, as well as Sasha Joseph and myself have a weekly pop culture, trending topics, celebrity gossip podcast called Mess Magnets that you can check out as well. You can follow me everywhere at Kirsten Said What. Jason, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter, JAYR1085. As far as other podcasts I'm doing right now, I'm doing The Good Pod with Marissa Garza, where we talk about The Good Wife, that show that was, came out in 2009. We're just getting started with our Good Wife rewatch. We're on episode 4 at the moment. So if that was the show you liked back in the day, come check us out. Also with Marissa Garza, I'll be talking about The Bear coming up this season. So come check me out over there with her on Whirlwind Podcast, talking about The Bear. Other than that, let's end this nonsense podcast about a nonsense show. Until the next round of nonsense, we'll see y'all later. Bye.